Can't you walk any faster?
With no heels and torn shoes, George, I've worn through the bottom of my stockings. I'm down to bare skin.
A bus! There's a bus. A strike must have been. Run, Gwen, run!
We don't have any money,
Public
George.
vehicle, they gotta take us. Arthur Fischetti, huh? Well, Mr. Fischetti won't be driving a bus very long, I can promise you that. You should have sat down like I told you. They wouldn't have had the nerve to throw us off. You were sitting. Yelling man is one thing. A sitting woman, that's something else, huh? Why are you standing there?
I'm finished, George. I can't take any more. I have no more strength.
You mean you're just gonna stand there forever? At 65th Street and Central Park West?
Until I die or I'm rescued, whichever comes first.
You mean you're giving up after you told me not to give up?
Oh, you have to make your own decisions now, George. I chose giving up.
Oh, come on, Gwen, you've got 2 children in Ohio to think about. Well, I'm not gonna move from this spot until...
What's the matter?
I don't know, listen.
What is it?
Sounds like a gas main.
George, get off! It's gonna blow up! Get off! You hear me? Just get off to the... George? George, are you all right? George, are you all right? George, can you hear me now?
Yeah?
Has the ringing stopped? The ringing hasn't stopped, but you can hear me?
Yeah. If you'd walked when I told you to walk, I wouldn't have been standing there. I can't hear again. Con Edison will pay for this. Say something.
What?
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 Say something, just anything.
I'm sorry. It wasn't my fault. My ankles were giving out, and my knees were beginning to go.
I can only hear every other word. It's like a bad phone connection.
Was the explosion. It'll clear up in a few minutes.
It'll up a minute, that's all I heard.
George, stop it. You are getting me very nervous.
George, it's getting nervous. They're not going to give a vice presidency to a man who hears half of everything. We have important meetings. I'm supposed to listen to all of them.
George, do you know where we are?
What? What was the second part?
Where we are now. Do you know where we are now? It's a church.
Oh.
Maybe if we pray. Maybe if we pray very hard, we'll still be able to make it.
Well, how are we going to make it if you stop to pray?
What we need now is hope and courage.
What I need now is a barber and a dentist. Gwen! 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 I don't mean to be disrespectful, but of all the times to go to church. Psst. Psst. We're closed. The church is closed?
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's TV rehearsal. We are televising Easter service on Sunday.
Oh, well, my wife just wants to pray for 5 minutes. Won't be long.
Hey, Mac, I understand, but I got my orders from the network. See, it's a closed TV rehearsal. There is no one allowed in this church until 2 o'clock, okay?
Well, you mean to say that my wife and I, who happen to be of this denomination, can't sit here and pray?
Forget it, George. We'll go to another church.
You stay there and keep praying. I'd like to see him stop you.
There is no public praying until 2 o'clock.
We won't need praying at 2 o'clock. We need it now.
Hey, look, Mac, I don't want to argue with you. My orders are to keep everyone out of this church until 2 o'clock, okay? Until things are set up. Now, we got wires and stuff here. You could get hurt.
In other words, you're denying my divine rights to worship the God of my choice in the house of the Lord of my desired faith.
Yeah, until 2 o'clock when you get your divine rights back.
I see. Have your name, please?
Yeah. Yeah, my name is Lenny. Lenny Moyers.
Moyers.
Forget it, George.
Forget it? I can forget my watch, my luggage, my money. I am not going to forget my divine rights. Moyers. Okay, Mr. Moyers. Please let your network people know they can expect a letter from my legal people. Come on, Gwen. Mr. Moyers, don't know if you're a religious man, but if I were you at 2 o'clock, I'd start praying for my job.
Come on.
George, what are we doing wrong? We can't ride. We can't walk. We can't eat. We can't pray.
Well, we can think. As long as we got our brains, we can think.
Oh, they'll get that too, George. You'll see.
Stop talking like that. We're not licked yet.
Yes, we are. We're licked, George. We surrender, New York. You win.
We don't surrender. We don't surrender. You hear that, New York? We don't quit. Now, how do you like that? You go ahead and you can rob me and starve me and break my teeth and my wife's ankles. I'm not leaving. You're just a city.
George, somebody'll hear you.
Well, I'm a person, and persons are stronger than cities. This is George Kellerman talking. And you're not getting away with anything. I got all your names and your addresses. Gwen, we're riding in a car to the Waldorf, and they're gonna give us our luggage and a room and a nice hot bath and a decent meal. Because I'm through fooling around.
How, George? How will we get there?
How?
Uh-huh.
I'm sure